Spoiler show kicks off for Modern Horizons 3, which will be releasing on June 7th. We have the usual suspects here in Blake Ramison hosting, and he's joined by Mike Turian, the product architect for Modern Horizons 3, and Michael Majors, the lead designer for the set. Michael starts off describing some of the origins of the Modern Horizons sets as being based on the time spiral sets so that they can perform callbacks to all sets and planes and characters without affecting the storyline overall. This freedom also allows for all the mechanics throughout Magic's history to blend and coexist. The first preview card is Pearl Ear Imperial Advisor. Originating from Kamigawa, she also has an affinity for auras, and if you cast an aura on a modified permanent, you draw a card. It's shown off in its normal printing, borderless profile version, and a foil etch version. Many of the legendary creatures will receive the borderless profile version, likewise for the foil etch versions. Eldorami Gorvekdal is shown next in 4 treatments, including borderless, retro frame, and foil etched again. There's a note that the retro frames, though, will only be in collector boosters for Modern Horizons 3. This was done so that in the draft format, people wouldn't feel the need to seek out the special treatment. Michael explains that this artwork of Eldorami is after he has united the Wrath people and become their savior, a throwback for longtime Magic fans. He allows you to look at the top of your deck at any time and then be able to cast creature cards from the top of your deck. You can also pay 1 green to tap 2 other creatures with Eldorami to reveal a creature from your hand or from the top of your deck and put it onto the battlefield. Arna Kinnerud's Sky Captain makes an appearance, being described by Blake as a flavortext champion from her original printing in Ice Age. We also get the borderless and foil etch treatments. Arna is the second creature we've seen already that interacts with modified creatures. She will double the number of counters on an attacking creature, and then make the token copy of non-token permanents attached to it. Detective's Phoenix is a new card using a new mechanic from Murders at Carlisle Manor, Collect Evidence, and it's combined with Bestow. When the creature is in your graveyard, you can pay its bestow cost and collect evidence to return it as an enchantment. Volatile Stormdrake appears as a borderless frame break and a retro frame card. Looks very strong as it has flying, hexproof from activated and triggered abilities. This one will enter and swap with an opposing creature and create energy for you. You then have to pay an amount of energy equal to the swap creature's mana cost, otherwise you sacrifice it. A callback card is shown in Brain Surge, upsizing the original Brainstorm. It now costs 3 mana and lets you draw 4 cards, and then you put 2 cards from your hand on top of the library in any order. Grim Servant lets you search for a card in your library with a mana value equal to or less than your devotion to black, and then put it into your hand. It's a creature version of Grim Tutor, and also comes in the retro frame version. Evolution Witness looks to be a strong common, has Adapt 2 for 2 mana, and when counters are put onto Evolution Witness, you can return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. And here's the retro frame version of Evolution Witness. Thraben Charm is the first card shown without any additional treatment. It can be used as removal or some graveyard hate depending on what you need. There, however, is not a charm cycle in this set. This charm will be standalone. Glimpse the Impossible is a sorcery that lets you exile the top 3 of your library, and you can play them this turn. Then, at the next end step, any remaining cards go to the graveyard, and you get to make an Eldrazi token for each that does, which can be sacrificed to add 1 colorless mana. Mike announces that there will be 42 cards in Modern Horizons 3 that are new to Modern cards. These are reprints from older sets that are not currently legal in Modern, but will be with this printing. Keurig, Son of Yawgmoth is the first shown, previously a commander card but now Modern legal. Also has borderless and foil etch versions. Keurig is described as one of the most powerful commander cards that inspires people to also try Modern, and by making it Modern legal, players may have an easier transition as they might already have many of the Modern cards already in their commander decks. Brea Ethereum Shaper, another commander card being reprinted for inclusion in Modern. A 4-color legend with a sack outlet for artifacts to make some fun interactions. Also included are some borderless and foil etch printings. Deserted Temple is being printed for Modern. A land that taps for a colorless, or you can pay 1 to tap it and untap another land. Seems pretty good for Modern decks running lands that produce multiple mana. Also, this card includes the watermark of the set it originally came from. Let me know in the comments if you know which set that is. Looks kind of like a booger though, right? Also being reprinted for Modern is the Medallion Cycle. These medallions let you cast spells in their color for 1 less, and there are some eye-popping frame break arts. Next up will be some retro reprints that will only be found from collector boosters. Isn't Fury banned? Wonder what that's going to be like. Even currently banned, it's still a $20 card. I wonder if the retro print rises or lowers that number. A second set of retro reprints here with Abiding Grace, Esper Sentinel, Dress Down, and Hard Evidence. And in the third set of retro reprints, we see Sling Gang Lieutenant, Dragon's Rage Chandler, Ragavan Nimble Pilferer, and Strike It Rich. I suspect some of these cards were selected due to their popularity outside of Modern, and the team wanted them to be included so that they also make their debuts in MTG Arena. The last set of retro reprints is Unholy Heat, Tireless Provisioner, and Munitions Expert. One goblin making the cut warms my heart. There will be no list cards in Modern Horizons 3, but there will be special guests. Here are 10 of them shown, all as full arts. Expressive Iteration is shown, but is also currently banned in Pioneer. Apparently this card was selected for Modern Horizons 3 well before the ban, and was still included for its popularity in other formats. There are also Commander decks specific to Modern Horizons 3. Mike explains that even though the set is built for Modern, Commander players also sought after the set for the hugely powerful cards. There are also collector versions of the Commander decks that include borderless profile versions of the Commanders. First up is the Creative Energy deck, helmed by Satya Aetherflux Genius, and the secondary commander of Kaith, Frame Mechanist. Eldrazi Incursion is the second deck, and is led by Ulalek, Fused Atrocity, and the secondary commander is Aslask, the Swelling Scourge. Special treatment to be found will be the Ripple Foil profile versions of the commanders and a Foil-etched Ripple Foil. Graveyard Overdrive is the third deck and led by Disa the Restless, which has a theme of making Goyf creatures and tokens. Chlorum the Undertaker is the secondary commander. The commander reprints also include Archon of Cruelty as a combo piece with the Graveyard Animator deck. Tricky Terrains is the fourth commander deck. Led by Oma, Queen of Vesuva, she will put everything counters onto lands and creatures, giving them all types. Joti Moag Ancient is the backup commander who makes Dryad tokens and buffs land creatures. Apex Devastator is going to be one of the large reprints included in this deck. Remember, Modern Horizons 3 will be arriving on June 7th for pre-release, so check out your local game stores for different launch events. Thanks for watching. Take care.